Good morning,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome to Wake Up with Toastmasters. My name is Jean Williams. I'm your district director for District 115, which is Southern Nevada and a little piece of Utah. And that's my co-host, busily answering our customers' calls, Jean Dunford. So how are all of you today? Happy Friday. Let's start with making a few announcements. Tomorrow, if you are an area director, division director, or above, you have district officer training. That is tomorrow at 8 a.m. Then if you are not an area director yet, we still have one more position to fill. So we've been filling them, but keep in mind, they only have one a year. Once a year we fill area directors. So if you're willing to be an area director, we have one more position in Division A. And this is the person that would oversee 3 or 4 clubs, make sure the news of the district gets to the clubs, make sure that the club's needs gets to the district. It's a very important position, and a good area director can make all the difference in helping a club just completely flourish and excel. So if you're willing to step up and do that job, of course, for what's in it for you, it is a requirement to be a distinguished Toastmaster to have a year of district leadership. But what's really in it for you is probably part of the reason you came to Toastmasters, to learn to be better, to be a better speaker, to be a better leader, to improve all the things you want to improve. The area director will do it. And it's one of those positions that it's really hard to describe how much you can get out of it. You get out of it until you've done it. But there's so many things I learned in my years as an area director, everything from organizing and planning, communication, dealing with conflict, demonstrations, helping people, organizing. I mean, there's so many things that came out of it. And then the satisfaction of helping people and meeting people and networking and all the fun things. It's sort of like every single thing that I thought I was getting out of Toastmasters already, it was magnified 10 times over when I was an area director. So if you are willing to be an area director, we do still have that position. Reach out to myself or Ken Richardson. Training is tomorrow. It'd be very quick, but if you're willing to do that job, let us know. And we are accepting applications for District 115 folks that are out of the area. So if you're out of the area thinking that that excludes you, not necessarily. We need to talk to you about that, but because it will have unique needs if you're out of the area. So that's, at game night. Don't forget game night on July 30th. And I know normally I make the announcements on Mondays, but you guys are missing out. I mean, come and have fun. It's about an hour and a half. Stay as long as you want. Just a lot of fun, ways to laugh and have a good time. So, Jean, I didn't get to introduce you a second ago. How are you?
Well, I'm doing just fine. I had a call from somebody and I had to take that call, and then here I am. So, hi. I was a little late getting on.
Probably one of our faithful viewers who couldn't find us on Facebook. And if you see us on Facebook, like, comment, share, be one of our followers. And and the other thing is, we mentioned if you want to be a guest on the show, and we do mean that, because we would much prefer guests. The time flies by twice as fast when we have guests. So if you'd like to be a guest, have your show, you can have several people from your club come and talk about your club, what your club is doing, an open house that's upcoming, or you can just come on yourself and talk about you, what made you decide to join Toastmasters. It's a real softball interview. If you look at any of our interviews, you'll have a real good time. So if you're interested in coming on the show, let us know that. And also, if you have a topic you'd like us to cover, you probably noticed Ken Richardson's very organized. We're a little less organized, but if you have a topic you'd like us to or you ask both Ken and I to cover, get 2 different perspectives, that'd be interesting. We should find out what he's covering one day, and we should both cover the same thing. Ken is the organized person, and Jean and I are more of the let's talk about it. So we'll see what happens with that. But if you have something you'd like us to see us cover, and if you have a topic you'd really like to be explained, things that gone over, presented, then we can do that at enrichment night, which is always the second Saturday of the month. So if you'd like to teach at enrichment night for a Toastmaster related topic, or something you'd like to see covered to help your group improve, then let us know so we can do that. Ooh, so that's all the announcements. Yeah, I think that's all the announcements, Jean.
So what is coming up for you and the Trio coming up? What are your big plans to take District 115 to the public?
Oh, district. See, this is good. Now I'm steering the ship. This is kind of scary in a way, but I've got a fabulous crew. So I won't be that 3-hour tour that ended badly in the minnow, because I've got a fabulous crew. Uh, but it's interesting. We have so many great things that are coming up. But there's we have a brand new club. Oh, we have a brand new club in the district, Hunters, and we're excited to welcome people, and I'm excited to get out there and visit them. It is a corporate club, so if you're in the corporation, you know about it, and if you're not, but that reminds me, if you have a corporate club. So we're looking at corporations who are interested in starting clubs. We want to make sure that we have so many new things we can offer now. A couple of years ago, district directors could only offer in-person meetings. Now we can offer virtual meetings, which are really, I think, a great thing for companies. If they have lots of locations or employees all over the place, or even just getting over to a meeting room is difficult because maybe they have a lot of people who are working at home. But now we can offer online meetings to the corporations, or a hybrid meeting where they do both at the same time, or maybe one meeting a month is in person and the other meetings are online. There's so many new packages, so to speak, we can offer. So we have that. So I see a lot of new things happening for the way of new clubs. Then for our existing clubs, there's so many things we have for our existing clubs. We have been, there's so many things. You hear us mentioning them as if they've always been there, but I'm excited because we have enrichment night. And we were talking about education and what can we do to, and Ken and I said, well, we're just inundating people right now with education. There's so many opportunities we have. When, even 3 years ago, if you were anyone in our district, you would get twice a year, you'd get training other than your club meetings. But if you wanted training outside of your club, you had the TLI, which is the Toastmaster Leadership Institute, and that was in the fall and in the spring, usually when club officers needed to be trained, because that was the main component of that event. Then there'd be the district conference in usually May or June. And that was it. That was all we could really give you. And we would just try to jam stuff in there. And you'd maybe get 5 classes to choose from between all 3 events, two, and maybe 1, maybe 2 at the district conference. So no more than 6 or 7 educational events total. Now we're giving you that in a month and a half. Enrichment night, you're really missing out if you're not going. Every month we have a new member orientation and a new member introduction to pathways. It's to supplement what your club is doing for your new members. But every month also we have a variety of, we try to have at least 1 communication class, we try to have at least 1 leadership class, and we try to have at least 1 class dealing with technology. So every month there's at least 4 to 8 topics for you to choose. And there's a class to choose the first hour, a class to choose the second hour. So normally, in addition to the new member items, there's 4 to 6 other classes for you to choose. And that's every single month, second Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific. So we're offering that, we're continuing that. And Ken being much more organized, look for more topics, look for just even more. If there's something you want to see covered, and people have pulled me aside and said, I wasn't sure about enrichment night, but I'm excited because after I said what I wanted, the next month it was there. So we're here. What are the topics you want? Or what is the topic you want to present? Because there are some of the pathways requirements or electives rather, that are long presentations. And it might be very, very difficult for you to present a 30-minute presentation in your club. But in an enrichment night, you get 45 or 50 minutes to present that item, and you can go into detail, ask questions, possibly even combine a project and a half, or just do different things there. So keep that in mind. So in have enrichment night, that's continuing. Game night's continuing. We have of course, our training that comes every year. But now, what other new things are going on? Well, we have ideas for new clubs, and what's on the horizon. We have and I haven't got a name for it yet, but we're at the tail end of the planning stages for a club specializing, it's a entry, it'd be a new member club, not an advanced club, but an open club for people who have hobbies or interests that they'd like to share, or hobbies and interests they'd like to learn about. So it could be everything from sewing, scrapbooking, making rubber stamps, woodworking, maybe restoring cars, any hobby or interest you have that you want to bring and share and talk about. So we're looking at that. And then another one that Jennifer Smith's idea, I want to run forward with that too, is a book lovers club. If you love to read and you love to talk about the things you've read and hear about what other people are reading, then we're working on moving forward on that idea. So Jennifer and I had our ideas, and it was such a busy time. She'd just become program quality. She'd just become public relations manager. And so we never moved forward with it, but now I think is the time we're both much more at ease with what we're doing. I haven't talked to her about this yet, but hey, Jennifer, if you're listening. So that's going on. Let's see. So you asked the question, Jean. So we got the potential for a lot more new clubs because we have the online option, and also for people out of area. We have enrichment night expanding and getting better. We're having a Hall of Fame coming up that's going to be a lot of fun. Ken's planning that. It'll be to hand out trophies and such from this past Toastmaster year and present incentives from the current Toastmaster year. But that will be the meeting where you will learn who was the area director of the year last year and who was the division director of the year. So those are both important things. And there'll be other awards. Possibly these would be awards Carol Campbell would want to present from her year, because she's the one that just finished June 30th. Then we will announce any incentives, because one of our incentives we're starting right now is 100% officers trained. If your club has 100% of its officers trained by August 31st, then you will get a wonderful incentive. It's valuable. You'll like it. And it's better than, and you get the ribbon. You do get the ribbon. That's always what you used to get, is just the ribbon. Now you get the ribbon and some other incentives, because you want all 7 officers trained. It's really the only way to make things the best you can possibly do for your members. So that's going to, so incentives. So that's what incentives, we're just really going to have a lot of incentives this year. We're going to have a new one coming up in September that has to do with if you invite a guest, and it might even start in August, but it'll probably start in September. For every guest you invite, you'll get an entry into a drawing, and we'll have more details as we go along. So look for that. Start thinking about inviting your friends, and not members you invite, for every person you invite, but start thinking about inviting your friends or relatives, and or coworkers or your boss, and say, I want you to see what I'm doing in Toastmasters. You may not be aware, and this is why I'm your next promoted individual, because I do this. So we're doing all that. We also talked about having a district open house, and what that would be a way for the public to come and meet representatives from a lot of our clubs and see what they think about different clubs and see how a meeting is run. So we might have those, I think, quarterly. So look for those. We also have our new club growth director, Scott, who has great ideas. He wants to especially reach out to companies who are interested in learning more about Toastmasters. And if you, Jean, what are some of the companies? We talked about it before. There's a list of companies that already have Toastmaster clubs. Like I know Bank of America, Nevada State Bank, our library district, but there's some worldwide companies. Do you remember any of those?
U.S. Bank has clubs. We started the City of Henderson Club, which is now a public club, but it started out as employees of City of Henderson. Las Vegas had a club, and North Las Vegas had a club. So they all have opportunities for their employees to join Toastmasters and become better leaders and speakers.
But do you remember some of the Fortune 500 companies that have Toastmaster clubs? I know a lot of the government agencies have Toastmaster clubs.
Yeah,
and there's a list of them, and Xerox, it seems like is.
I'm not sure. I haven't pulled down the list lately, probably in the last year, but it is available on Toastmasters.org to download. I haven't downloaded it, but we could do that and talk about that next time.
Yeah. That's a good idea. And that's the other thing. You might be in a company that the headquarters has a Toastmaster club. And all these years you can never be part of it because it was at headquarters and you're way out here in, Iowa or something like that. And now you might be able to join the club if they're meeting hybrid or if they're meeting online. So look for all those things to be changing over the next year. I think we finally, the thing that I'm looking forward to this year is we are past that awkward stage with technology. When we first went into the pandemic, it happened for Toastmasters and the world. It happened so suddenly that we were kind of thrust online. I felt like I kind of joked we were shoved through this door we weren't ready to walk through. But then all of a sudden, after we caught our breath, we went, oh, okay, here we are. And we learned to live with it. But then after that, I think we're flourishing with it. There's some clubs that are online and moved online and are doing fabulously because of it, because they're attracting a worldwide audience now. Storytellers is one of our hugest clubs in the district. They meet on Saturdays at 10 a.m. and Jackpot Speakers meets on Sundays at 1. So those two clubs are both doing very well because they're attracting people. UNLV changed their, I'm sorry, not a UNL, educationally speaking, changed its name to internationally speaking because more than half its members were from other countries. How exciting is that, that we have that technology? So now we're coming past the adolescence into the adulthood with technology. We're realizing that it isn't this horrible thing we got shoved into, but this great thing we can embrace. And I'm excited about that because I look through our clubs, I visit different clubs, and I see people from parts of the country that never could. We have one member who is, I think, an hour and a half away from her closest Toastmaster meeting, but now she's in one of our clubs. How fabulous is that? She couldn't even be a Toastmaster before, and now she is, and she's loving it. We have people from all over the world, and hearing different accents and learning about different cultures, if you're over in Toastmasters in the kitchen, hearing about different foods. So all of those things are because of the technology we're using now. There's still clubs that are meeting in person only, and there's clubs that are meeting hybrid, which is both, and then there's clubs that are meeting online only. So I'm excited about that now we're comfortable with that technology. We realize that a club can be either, and that we can have great clubs regardless of how it's delivered because the product is still a good product to be delivered. So that's an exciting thing that's going to continue this year. The other thing is I really emphasized this over the last couple of months, talking about area directors and how we need area directors. That's one really important thing I wish to do this year, is to show the area directors how truly special and how truly important that position is by letting them make decisions and do things and have that leadership over their area, to be able to bring their area leaders together and have area council meetings. I'm not going to micromanage and peer over their shoulder every second. The division directors, we've got a fabulous team of division directors. I couldn't ask for better. And so they're also going to make sure the area directors get everything they need to just really empower their clubs to do well. Because every time we talk about new clubs, someone says, what about the existing clubs? Well, that's what we need to do. We need to get our area directors to a point where where there's not that question anymore, where the club needs is going to be delivered to them. And that's what we're going to empower our area directors to do. So I'm excited about that. So that's a huge change we're going to do. We were in a position when everything got pulled online that there were so few people who were comfortable online that it just became very management leading the team kind of thing. And now I want the people to lead the team, and it starts with the area directors, getting that area director the support that they need, that person needs to help the clubs, and getting the clubs what they need. So that's a huge change that's happening. Hopefully it'll happen and you'll see it. But if not, hopefully by the end of the year, you'll absolutely know what has happened. So those are things that I'm looking forward to. And we also have some speech crafts coming up. We've had different people talk about having those. One club's talked about having one at one of the college campuses or possibly a trade school to attract those people who are just at the beginning of their career, letting them feel more comfortable selling their product or service as they start their career, or as they finish college, to feel more comfortable defending a thesis or interviewing with the top, the companies they want to interview with. So we're looking at speech crafts, which is a 8 to 10 week. It's a finite length of time, but it teaches you a lot of Toastmaster skills. I do want to see us doing more youth leadership projects, which are always fun. And I think because of the pandemic, we're moving away from them a little bit, not on purpose, just, everybody was busy rowing the boat. So it's no, but now we're more in a position we got all that straightened out. So I'm looking for more youth leadership projects if you're interested in teaching one, or you have a group of kids that you're working with, and this is anybody under 18 that you think would benefit from Toastmasters. And I think it'd be fun to have a younger kid Toastmaster club. We always look at the 15, 16, 17-year-olds, but I think 10 to 12, because I keep thinking, how different would my life be if I had felt comfortable public speaking when I was in middle school? And I think it'd be so much different. How much more comfortable I would have been introducing myself, or standing up and answering questions the teacher had, or just being more visible and getting better grades because of it. So I think if you have even a group of older elementary kids or junior high school kids and you're interested in having a youth leadership project, reach out to myself or Scott about that topic. So all these things are going to be happening. That's what's happening, Jean. So there's lots of things that are going on. And we actually, everything you say, it's best to do it with a committee, except for that one area director. I think we have a full committee. So let's get moving on that. Anything else, Jean?
You ask a question, I got the answer. Companies that have embraced Toastmasters: 3M, Google, Saudi Aramco, Simmons, I don't know what TATA Consultancy.
But just list about 5 or 6 of
Toyota. There you
go. Okay. So there you go. If you have okay, you guys, all the other car manufacturers, don't let Toyota be the only one. Let's get a Ford and a Chevy and a Dodge Toastmaster Club going. Right. But yeah, there are a lot of Fortune 500
I'll
companies.
put the link for corporate clubs on Facebook page, and that way people can check it out.
That's cool. Okay. Anybody else on Facebook that wants to say hi? So I got you doing 5 things at once. It's always fun to watch them do that. Oh, he hasn't had a chance. He's been answering other questions. Well, that's okay. We're really out of time now. But if you are there on Facebook, thank you and welcome, and come again. And if you have any questions, put it in chat. We do look at that. We do look at your suggestions, or you can also email us. And Jean's gonna make sure, well, the email address is always there. You can always PM on the Club Growth Director Facebook page. That reaches Scott. And he always lets us know what's going on there. So if you have any questions or ideas, suggestions, or topics you want to see covered, reach out to us that way. Let us know. We're working on getting our banner back, which has our email address. Don't know what happened to it, but we're always the group with the needing help with technology. So there you go. See, he's on Jennifer's show on Wednesday. No technology trouble. Monday, Friday technology, because it's me. But that's okay. But let's if you have any questions, though, reach out to us and let us know what those are. And we will see you Monday morning on Wake Up with Toastmasters. We'll have Mark Your Calendar Monday. Not a lot of events, but we will talk about the incentives that are going on, because we're excited about those. So reach out to us if you have any questions, and look for Mark Your Calendar Monday on Monday, 6 a.m. on Wake Up with Toastmasters. Thank you. Bye.